I am so excited to officially announce that I am opening an astrology business. Welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're new around here. My name is Hannah Hawthorne and I'm Simply Witched. Today's video is all about astrocartography, which is a service I will be offering. My astrology business officially opens on the winter solstice, December 21st of 2022, and I will begin readings on January 1st, New Year's Day of 2023. My website is not complete at this time, but when it is just simplywitched.com and you can book with me there. I am so excited to begin reading for all of you, and I'm going to tell you more about my astrology business at the end of this video, so make sure you stay till then. Plus, I am going to be giving a discount code for all of your early support. With that being said, let's just get right into it because astrocartography has a lot more to it than what I normally see online. It really is this way for all of astrology because it's so vast and there's so much to learn, so when people teach it, they want to make it as simple as possible. And I totally get that because I don't want to overwhelm people, but I want to give you some really solid information. This is really my problem with a lot of modern astrology because we've made it so digestible that we have left pieces behind. And it's not like it's complicated, you just have to put in the time to learn. So this is going to be a long video because I love astrocartography and it would be a disservice to water it down. So get something to drink, something to eat, get cozy, get comfortable, and maybe grab a pen and paper if you want to take notes. When people make videos about astrocartography, they usually say, move to your moon line for comfortability. Move to your Venus line to find love. Move to your Mercury line for a social life, etc. But it's not that simple. My Venus line is different than your Venus line. The way that Mercury treats me is different than it treats you. Astrocartography is not one size fits all. It entirely depends on your birth chart, which is essentially what astrocartography is. It is your birth chart displayed across a map of the world. The location of each planet corresponds to a different location around the globe where their planetary energy is strongest. Some of these are supportive environments, which will bring blessings and opportunity, while others will bring challenge and discomfort. And having the knowledge of which areas support specific areas of your life is helpful in deciding where to move or travel. We're going to begin with a basic description of each of the planets, beginning with the luminaries, the sun, and the moon. The sun is a constant upholding force of the universe, and its orbit is always steady. It rules the masculine people of prominence in your life, like fathers. It is located at the center of the universe, and it represents the center of ourselves within astrology. It is so much more than your basic personality. It is your essence. It is an unchanging force deep inside of you, which is why moving to your sun line feels like coming home. Solar places are where you shine. They invite you to step into the person you want to become. Living on your sun line will provide direction, make you feel more fulfilled, and give you a sense of purpose. The second luminary is the moon. This is the most impermanent of the planets, only staying in a zodiac sign for 2 days. It is constantly waxing and waning through the zodiac signs and represents bodies, cycles, and moods that change. It is a symbol of fertility and femininity and represents the maternal people in your life. Living on your moon line will make you feel emotionally nurtured and secure, which is why lunar places almost immediately feel like coming home. As you can see, both luminaries provide this homecoming feeling, but it is for different reasons. But they both make great candidates for places to live. Your sun line will have you feeling like, it is my purpose to live here. I'm achieving my goals and I am becoming the best version of myself. Your moon line will have you feeling like, I am so comfortable here, I almost feel nostalgic for this place even though I've never been here. I am so safe and emotionally fulfilled living in this place. Mercury rules logic and intellect. It represents your capacity to collect, sort, and communicate the knowledge you have gained through your life. Living on your Mercury line has you asking questions and seeking answers. Living in Mercurian places will have you conversing, studying, writing, and traveling a lot more than usual. The thing about astrocartography is yes, you can intentionally move to these places to seek out their energy, but often you will just find yourself naturally moving to them because it is reflected in your chart. A lot of people get married on their Venus line without realizing it, go to college on their Mercury line, or learn a tough lesson on their Saturn line. And that is what I think is really cool about comparing your lines to the experiences you have already had in life. Mars is named after the god of war himself and certainly lives up to its reputation. It's intense, passionate, and full of raw, unbridled, animalistic instinct. Living on your Mars line will light a fire beneath you and heighten your ability to fight, take action, and defend yourself. If you can handle the heat, Martian places are incredible for driving your vitality. You will see increases in your productivity, work ethic, sex drive, forcefulness, and aggression. So if you want to get aggressive, it's the place to go if you just need a real kick in the teeth. Of all the planets in the sky, Venus is the brightest, most captivating one. It is the planet of pleasure and represents beauty, love, abundance, art, and feminine figures. Moving to your Venus line invites its luxurious energy into your life and the people and things you find appealing. And of course, this is the planet of love, so it's a great place for finding romance or deepening an existing relationship. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. This colossal giant is hot and moist, the ideal conditions for growth, which can be life-providing or could consume. Jupiter's knowledge is on a profound level. It is lived wisdom, gnosis, not just memorizing facts, in opposed to Mercury, which is more data collection. Jupiter governs philosophy, religion, ethics, luck, generosity, prosperity, education, law, and justice. Moving to your Jupiter line will have you expanding your mind mentally and physically. Jupiter wants to broaden your mind through experiences, be it spirituality, education, or traveling. Saturn is the last planet we can see with our naked eye, making it an observational boundary of the solar system. It is connected to the principles of limitation, lessons, punishment, misery, isolation, and the deterioration of your mind and body. It represents the places we go to die, like tombs, coffins, and morgues, but it can also describe things of more significant epochs of time, like administrations, legacies, and dynasties. Saturn represents authority figures and people who have gone through something monumental, like orphans, elders, and widows. Living on your Saturn line will teach you that disciplined hard work will lead to genuinely earned, long-lasting success. Saturnian places will force you to confront the reoccurring issues in your life until you overcome them and emerge as the best version of yourself. Saturn is not just going to bring you blessings, but rather provide opportunities for growth and lessons to be learned. Uranus is associated with spontaneity and incoming change. It represents individuality, innovation, experimentation, rebellion, and unconventional events. Uranian places are incredibly stimulating. There will never be a dull moment living on your Uranus line. Truly, expect the unexpected. Neptune is associated with mysticism and spiritual awareness. It represents delusions, dreams, imagination, glamours, and healing. Neptunian places are dreamy but delusional. Things are not what they seem on Neptune lines. Beware of deception. Pluto is associated with regenerative processes and transformation. It is associated with intensity, psychological turmoil, and power. Plutonian places are nightmarish. But I guess on the bright side, they're helpful in locating where not to go because they rarely make pleasant environments. So that was a brief rundown of the planets, but like I said, astrocartography is entirely based off your birth chart. So I recommend having an understanding of how your planets are behaving personally to get the most out of astrocartography. The first thing we must determine is whether you have a day or nighttime chart. And if you're like, girl, what is that? I got you. I need you to look at your birth chart, your actual birth chart. The circle graph that looks like gibberish. No apps. Throw CoStar out the window. If you cannot read your birth chart yet, that is okay. I have a video for you. It is called How to Read Your Birth Chart, and I will link it right here. I'm going to be using the same website from that video to show examples here, which is astro.com. Pull up your birth chart. It should look like this, and find the ascendant-descendant line. If your sun is above that line, you have a daytime chart. If it is below, you have a nighttime chart. The way planets behave is dependent on whether they fall in or contrary to sect. effect. There is a daytime and a nighttime team of planets. When a planet is where it wants to be, it is happy and it brings many blessings. When it is not, the more troublesome it becomes. If you have a daytime chart, the planets that thrive in that environment are the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. Jupiter is the most supportive planet in your chart, and generally speaking, Jupiterian places are the most supportive to live. Conversely, Mars is the most challenging, and Martian places are the most difficult. Saturn is still a malefic planet, a bad planet, but it is less angry than usual because it is located where it wants to be. On the other hand, Venus is still a benefic planet, a good planet, but she is less happy than she normally is because she is not where she wants to be. Venus is still going to bring you blessings, but you'll have to work harder for them than somebody who has a nighttime chart, where Venus is where she wants to be. If you have a nighttime chart, the planets that thrive in that environment are the Moon, Mars, and Venus, and everything is backwards to a daytime chart. Generally speaking, Venus is the most supportive planet in your chart, and Venetian places are the most supportive to live. Conversely, Saturn is the most challenging, and Saturnian places are the most difficult to live. Mars is still malefic, but he's not as angry as he normally is, and Jupiter is still benefic, but he's not as happy as he normally is. Mercury is the only planet that does not concretely belong to a sect, and depending on its placement, it can be on either the day or the nighttime team. The easiest way to check this is to see if it rose before or after the Sun. All the planets move clockwise around the birth chart and rise over the horizon line, the first house, so just look to see if Mercury rose before or after the Sun. If it rose before, it is a daytime Mercury. If it rose after, it is a nighttime Mercury. So if you have a daytime chart, you want Mercury to rise before the Sun, but if you have a nighttime chart, you want Mercury to rise after. If it's the opposite and you have a daytime chart but you have a nighttime Mercury, it just means Mercury is out of sect and you'll have to work a little bit harder in Mercury's department. With this information, you can pull up an astrocartography website and see where your lines are running through and see which places are most and least supportive for you. But these are just the most basic things that you should know when interpreting your birth chart. After this, you want to check aspects, which are the relationships between the planets, and essential dignities, which essentially are the parts of the sky the planets like best. Both of those things will further tell you how supportive or challenging a specific planet is in your chart. An astrologer can weigh all these factors out for you and say, ooh, this person has a nighttime chart with a nighttime Mercury and he's sitting in his home side of Gemini and he has a lot of harmonious aspects. And they will be able to tell that this Mercury is really happy in this person's chart. He will bring them many blessings, and they recommend that this person live on their Mercury line. Astrology is all about weighing things out and looking at the different considerations. The best way that I can describe it is space math. It's not complicated, it just takes time. But if you are interested in sitting down with a professional astrologer who can do this for you, and who also just wants to get to know you and have a lot of fun, I will be shortly available. I am so excited to connect with as many of you as I can and see what the stars have in store for you. To talk a little bit about my astrology business, I'm going to start by offering two services: Astrocartography and solar return chart readings, which is a predictive form of astrology to predict how the next year of your life is going to go from one birthday to the next. However, I am not going to be offering birth chart readings at this time, as that is what my book focuses on. If you don't know, I wrote a book. It is called The Magic of Birthdays. This is an astrological, magical book that focuses on incorporating your birthday into your spiritual practice, and it'll cover everything you need to know to read your birth chart. There's also a lot of stuff in here that can be applied to astrocartography, for example. I cover aspects and essential dignities in this book, so if you don't have it, it will be very helpful in your astrology journey. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. To keep up with me between uploads, there is a link down below to all of my other platforms, as well as to buy my book, join my Discord, and to check out my astrology website. As promised, since you made it to the end of the video, you can use code Hawthorne on my website for a discount on your first astrology service. So until next time, have a magical rest of your day. Blessed be, and goodbye, everyone.